Alright, gonna try this again. Hopefully this time the mic's recording.
Look alive.
Where do you want
Hold
me?
position.
Holding.
Keep that dude there for a second. Alright, so hopefully this time the microphone will capture the narration here. So this is the updated warehouse. Then my main settlement here. This is Sanctuary Hills. This house here is where I lived 200 some odd years ago before a nuclear war, and I spent 200 years in a vault cryogenically frozen. So, moving on up from this to this behemoth that I built. Trying to kind of replicate what I did in the first game without copying it, so same principle though here, having the two floors with the overlook. So since the last video, made some changes to the layout, added some new things. I think previously I had the weapon station along that back wall. I moved it over here and have my wall of guns. These guns here are things that I'll use occasionally. They're more just for display. They're these legendary weapons that star means it's legendary. Some of them are other ones that I'll swap out intermittently, but these four here are pretty much for show purposes. This one, it's a mini nuke launcher, so that's a mini nuke there. I don't use this one, A, because it's heavy as hell, B, because I blow myself up every time. Same reason I don't use a missile launcher. The junk jet, I've never tried using. I'm not sure how it works exactly. And then this minigun is just a heavy beast that you burn through ammo, and I think it's like a more rare, or rarer, whatever the correct word is there. It's a rare ammo. So, don't use that often. I added these new power armor displays. There are a number of these power armor suits throughout the world that you can find. I know where a few more are, I just have to grab them yet. At some point in time, I'm going to redo this and like change the color scheme so they mean something. There's the different styles of armor. There's this T45. I think it's T45. There's this one here is the T60. This is what I'm wearing right now. This is the Brotherhood of Steel logo. And since the guy that I just made wait outside is my current traveler, he's a companion. He's Brotherhood of Steel. Anyway, so I added the other armor station here to do repairs and modifications on the armor. I think there was just one before. This is to do regular armor that you're wearing, to do upgrades on that. I've got over here some different lockers set up. The loot, this Giddy Up Buttercup thing. Why is that in there? I think that's in the wrong thing there. This Giddy Up Buttercup, if you have a completely assembled one of those, it's worth a lot more money. So I've found these parts throughout the world and trying to remember how to assemble the thing. I don't know if there's like a, I think it's either like a recipe or I don't know if it's a, I'm drawing a blank on the word. Hang on. Go away. The manufacturing. Here we go. It might be one of these builders. That's it. One of these builders that you can get. I think that's how you do the Giddy Up Buttercup. I don't remember, but regardless, I'm collecting all the pieces I can find to start building some and then selling them. It might be this one here. I don't remember, but anyway. So that's what that loot is. It's the more valuable things. Armor. This is the different pieces of power armor and other wearable armor. Right now I'm just wearing this suit because I'm doing a lot of interacting with players, and so I have a higher charisma wearing one of these suits. Like this clothing here, these are um, more unique items or things like this that give it a charisma boost. So I've just got one of each of those saved in here instead of having them in my mass stockpile of inventory here. So that transfer there, that opens up the workshop. These are all tied together. This power armor station, this weapons workshop, all these things are linked together, and they just like contain all your inventory. That's whatever's stored in there. So rather than having to scroll through this lengthy list, I'll pull a few things out and put them in that other locker. So this is the like processed food, Twinkies and such. Yeah, pork and beans, a can of beans that have a higher radiation that rads. That things with the elevated rad count, I'll sell those instead because there's other options, so things to eat to heal yourself that don't have radiation, so I'll use those instead. Other things to sell that, again, more higher value items. So I'm just saving those for next time the merchant's around and I get my charisma up. The higher your charisma, the more money you get for things. So, and there's some just different stuff for my dog companion. And some more decoration here. Some of these posters. Activate. Can I turn that? Oh. Didn't you could turn that on and off like that. So, and I may have redone some of the layout, like some of the walls. I don't remember. I know one thing I did do is this wall here added a stairwell that goes up to my like little catwalk or gantry, whatever it's called, up here. That's like a kind of like a maintenance walkway. It was so I could get up here to hang these power conduits. So I could do that and then run the wiring to get electrical, to get the turn on the lights and everything. So I redid this because this walkway had been, hang on a second, in line with this piece right here. I had another stair going up this way and up here to there, and I wanted to raise it up higher so it wasn't more of it was less of a ceiling and more of like this walkway. So I had to redo this whole thing, and it took a while to get it, but I like it. Oh, the other thing with that, I forgot. Freaking doors. Is I added this little storage area over what's kind of my bedroom office area thing. I added this flooring here and some trunks to make this kind of like a storage area. Right now, there's nothing in there. At some point in time, I might throw some stuff in here, but it's more just kind of for the visual details and whatnot. Can I? No. Alright, we'll do it the hard way. No. There we go. There, okay. So, yeah, I got my bed here. This little dresser with some things that at some point in time I'm going to try and put up on display, like these little figurines here, or figures. It's just kind of a pain in the butt, because when you get one of these things and you like drop it to there it is.
It's still intact.
Oh wow, it worked. Usually when you drop these things, they'll fall like on their face, and trying to pick it up and rotate it. Oh, there. Yes, it's kind of doing it already. Trying to pick it up and rotate it to get it placed can be a real pain in the butt. There we go, like that. And so then you spend forever trying to find a way to. Oops. Yeah, so just don't want to screw with it right now. So everything's just in here, and I'll deal with that stuff later. So I think this wall is new as well, where I added my, assembly line here, where Let me go back downstairs. Whenever I return from my adventures, I'll come over here and load things into this conveyor belt, which then takes it up to the second floor. Oops. Oh, the fridge is new. The fridge I set up to put any of these beverages, and they give you different boosts. And I kind of got sick of always having to rummage through that complete inventory over here. So I just moved things into that fridge. And then similar with some of these other, the junk stuff. And so I moved this jukebox up here, also because I don't use it much. Got all my magazine racks are set up now. I was wanting to do like a different rack for each comic or magazine, but when I was looking online, I think there was like 15 of them or something, and I don't really have the time or patience to set up 15 of these racks and sort them all individually. Instead I'm trying to group them into like comics. These are more, I think, like is this more of a magazine maybe? I'm not sure. But my intent is to do, like a comic section, have like a technical thing, like here. This gives you a boost for, I guess it doesn't say. Please not say what they're for. When you first finally pick them up, it'll tell you like what the perk is. Anyway, so it's trying to do comics, like technical things to get you boosts on your hacking skills and lockpicking, and some of these things are all about like building relationships with companions, where like they do more damage or you have more like interactions with them. These are all just things to get you additional items you can build for your workshop and your settlements. These are more survival related things. So trying to categorize them is just still a work in progress. And then this, so when I come back from any adventuring, I put everything in the conveyor belt, brings it up here, and sorts it. This copper, lead, and fertilizer are components used to make ammo. So they have these handy letterings that you can add to indicate that. So anything with those three components gets filtered and sorted over to here. So like this broken lamp has copper in it. The fuse has copper in it. The pencil has lead. Where do the pencils? Yeah, it's got lead in it. So then I'll just take those and transfer them over to this thing here, turn it on, and it'll produce the ammo. I could have linked this instead of having this storage thing there. I could have put this there instead. The drawback to doing that is that as long as this is powered on, no, I added the switch here. As long as this is power, it's going to keep putting out ammo. And then if I don't want to just make endless amounts of ammo and use up my resources, turn it on and off. So that's why I just have a separate line for that. But then everything else that's not got those three things into here, I'll just grab them, take all this stuff, and then add it to my quote-unquote main inventory, is to store all junk. And those are all the resources, all those junk items here are all the different resources that, like if it's not, like acid I think is a base component, like copper and glass. So yeah, all those are the aluminum, glass, spring, nuclear material. Those are all like base components that are used to build all the stuff in your settlement. So the floors, the walls, the railings, any of these workbenches, other decorations, all require these components. So that's the main thing I'm worried about, is just sorting out the stuff I need to make ammo, rather than trying to go through here, rummage through in the junk, find anything that's got lead in it or fertilizer in it. So the drawback to that, though, is anything that I need, like copper, to hang lights, I had to go through here and pull that stuff out, but, it's whatever. There are other things they can filter for, like in my first warehouse I did with my other game, I think I had more room on the top floor like this, and I had additional sorters to catch either other components or food or without loading the game. I can't remember, but while I think this warehouse has more square footage than the other one, it seems like there's less room up here, so I'm not sure what I did differently this time. I know like the layout's slightly different, but I just don't know why I have less room up here than I did in the other one. But I don't know, it suffices for now. I might come back once I get more resources. What the heck? Once I get more resources, I may come back and redo some of this stuff, but that's kind of been the limiting factor right now is not having enough steel and copper and things to do some stuff I'd like. So I think right now I'm like level 30, 31, and yeah, level 30. Having played 248 hours in the first game, I was kind of impatient to build this thing back up to how it had been in the first game. So I kind of jumped the gun on building some stuff and having to fill it in later as I get more resources. Versus the other game, I think I'm at level 52 there, so I've got a lot more stuff under my belt, but it's coming together. Oh, the other thing, it's not for the warehouse, but I had redone all my crops that used to be back behind this house. When you first start the game and you come out of your cryogenic freezer, there's a few crops back here, but it can be kind of a pain in the butt to put those crops in sometimes. Things don't always want to get planted. Let's see if I can find an example of one. It's usually things like the like this. Oh, there. Where did that go? That there. I think this is too close to the house, but trying to find a spot where this will. Yeah, so right there, for whatever reason, there's kind of like a dead zone right there where you can't plant it. And then some of these things, you can't plant them super close together. There we are. So, for whatever reason, there's that like huge dead zone between crops. So, what I ended up doing was I took all the stuff that. Oh, and then you get that stuff where it kind of looks like it's floating, sort of, in midair. But anyway, I got rid of all the crops I had here and removed everything over to there's like a flatter area. So I've got all this razor grain, whatever that is, some kind of like wheat, I guess. Put all those around here. I added these garden plots, which was unbelievably painstaking to do. And so I'm filling those things in as I get time. Here's some of those other crops that it's just kind of hit and miss trying to get stuff to plant. Like there's a big gap over here somewhere that I couldn't put anything here. Like this, I have no idea what is going on, but there's just no. Oh, sure. Now that I've doing a video, it works. But I spent I don't know how long earlier today trying to get this thing to plant right there, and it just wouldn't. So well, that solves that problem. And then trying to make everything, I was trying to group everything together. Like I'd like to have all the stuff, but it's OCD, whatever. But I was thinking earlier, I didn't even think of this at first. I should have put these plots over here and had this all together. Because something else I'd like to do is further down past this warehouse, I built a new kind of rec center, if you will, with some seating and some like vendors in there, some merchants, and it's kind of far away from my main outpost here in this warehouse. So I have to grab all the stuff I want to sell, run down there, run back up, back and forth, back and forth. So I was going to try and move this merchant closer, and I had the thought earlier if I had put all this stuff over there. This would be a good spot for that, but hindsight. And I am not moving all these. It was such an ordeal to get this stuff, put in order and straight. But it is what it is. So those are the big updates from the last time. Is just adding that extra column, if you will, to get those stairs up to the walkway, redoing the crops, and then let me head down real quick and so I added this warehouse, which I had something similar in my first playthrough, where I think I had 2 floors, and I'll probably add a second floor later at some point. I would imagine that and the other one I had, this first floor, which is all these merchants. You can do the general store. There's so this is the trader. This is the general store, isn't it? Oh, there we are. Interesting. Oh, there now. I see. Okay, yeah. So that's the general store, armor, weapons, food and drink. Oh, the health supplies, and then clothing, are all the different stores that you can build, and these different options are just they give you like more. Give you more options to pick from the vendor. The larger the store, the more caps that they'll have that you can sell stuff to them, and then more options of things that you can buy from them. So add those to here, and then I was gonna try and do some kind of like little dining area, have a bar up here, and then some of this rec stuff that I was gonna probably put it like on the second floor. So it's a work in progress. The main thing has just been not having the resources yet. I'm still kind of early in the game compared to the previous playthrough where I had 248 hours. I think right now I'm only at let's see if this will work or not. Not sure if this should show on the screen or not, but so 3 days, 15 hours, so 72, yeah. So 3.5 days, I guess, versus 10 and however many days. So it's getting there, but this is the latest iteration, and got a whole bunch of other ideas in mind. It's just a matter of getting the resources for them. So, oh, this reminds me. This is the population management, so you can assign jobs to people. I'm having a severe labor shortage right now with my farmers. I don't know why I can't send more people here. How do I have anyone employed? The problem I'm running into is the crops. I don't have enough people to work all the crops I have. And I've been trying to send, yeah, so that red outline of a person there means no one's assigned to these resources. And right now I've got 19 people living in the settlement, and I've got room for up to 34 right now, that number of beds at the top there. And I tried sending people from other settlements here, and it wouldn't let me, so I'm trying to like recruit people as much as I can and take advantage of all these crops here, because I'm trying to do like almost resource centers of sort. I've got yeah, so these are all oh boy, that's not good. Why are these all? I don't know what's going on here, but interesting. Anyway, so I've got a couple of these places that are larger than others, so I'm like turning them into resource centers. This Gray Garden, you come across, it's a actual like greenhouse where they have a ton of plants and things growing there. So once you get them to join you, you've got 30 or more food resources there. And then I added all those crops here. This is my main settlement here, the Sanctuary Hills. This is where I'm in right now. And so up to 66 there, and same thing with the water. There's a lake, or river, I guess. down here that I added those industrial water purifiers. And so I'm trying to use that to get a bunch of extra water here, because with everything being connected by a supply line, everything made up here, with the food and water, gets shared to anything connected. So like down here, this is a new place I recently got to join my team or cause or whatever, but I haven't connected it to a supply line yet, because there's other settlements. There's one somewhere around here that you can get, and then there's one somewhere over here. And I'm trying to get those all established before I connect the supply lines and try and do it in a somewhat logical manner. But what that is exactly, I don't know. And then, this one down here, this is an add-on with the Vault 88. Anyway, so I'm trying to do these resource centers and have food mainly farmed at one location. Some of the ones that are more easily defendable. This one is awful. I hate Overland Station. I hate it. This one's not bad. The Boathouse and Ten Pines Bluff are kind of just in terms of defendability and options for resources, some are better than others. So I'm trying to turn those into like my main hubs, I guess, if you will, and go from there. So it's just a matter of gathering more support, more people, more resources, and patience, which is not in abundance for me. But that's the main walkthrough here. As I keep adding details, I'll keep going through and doing updates, but that's what we got right now. So thanks for watching.